Christ's name. And we've all heard this phrase, haven't we? I mean, we've all heard this phrase that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And so this little slide up here, this kind of speaks it well, this next one. Your comfort zone, and then where the magic happens. Come on, let's give it up for that, right? Little chalk drawing right there. Your comfort zone, and then where the magic happens. I know you're all asking me right now, I mean, you're just on the edge of your seat, and the question in your spirit right now is this. Pastor Steve, how do I get out of my comfort zone? Come on, you're asking that, right? No, you're not. You're not. But I know deep down inside, after this message, you will be asking the question, how do I get out of my comfort zone? Paul must have really, Paul the Apostle who wrote 2 Timothy, he must have really lived an adventurous life. I mean, adventurous life to the epic extreme. Because we know that because he left his comfort zone years ago, years before he wrote this passage. I have fought the fight. I have kept the faith. I have finished the course. Here's some of the adventures that Paul the Apostle, who wrote 2 Timothy, here's some of his adventures. And I don't know if you'll see many of these on National Geographic or the Outdoor Channel, but here's some of his adventures that he experienced. He was shipwrecked. He was attacked by murderous mobs. He was beaten. He was starved. He was imprisoned. He was betrayed by friends. And the hardships that he endured, or the adventures, let's put it that way, that he endured. He was shipwrecked 3 times. He was left floating in the ocean 24 hours. How many? Look, that'd be an adventure you won't forget right there. He was criticized by other Christians, under arrest for 2 years without a trial. He was bitten by a viper. It says in 2 Timothy, at the end of 2 Timothy, that he escaped the mouth of a lion. I would imagine that Paul was one of those guys in the Roman Colosseum. And the scripture says that he escaped the mouth of the lion. Why? Because God had more to do with him. Imagine this, that the things that you've come through, maybe you weren't defeated by those things because God has more to do in you and through you. Same with Paul. He did all of this to serve the one thing that he set out to destroy, and that was Christianity. He did all of these things, he endured all these things because he had a servant heart towards the thing that he set out to destroy in the first place. And that was to destroy Christianity. Persecuted by Jesus, the one that he was fighting against. He was stoned by rocks and left for dead, beaten with rods 3 times, whipped with 39 lashes on his back, 5 times attacked by an angry mob throughout the New Testament we read. And Paul's response to all of this persecution and all this hardship was, everyone who wants to live a godly life in Christ Jesus will be persecuted. 2 Timothy 3:12. The hardships that he endured. And to these things Paul said, endure hardships. Like us, a good soldier in Jesus Christ. And so today I want to talk to you about this good fight, these good friends, and a good book. Good fight. The gift of a good fight. The gift of a good fight. I like to say that if you'd like to leave your comfort zone, you ready? Get yourself in a good fight. Yeah, pick a good fight. If you want to leave your comfort zone, I'd suggest to you that you might want to pick a fight. And here's something you could fight about. How about something that is honorable? How about something that is noble? If you want to get yourself out of your comfort zone, why don't you run for office in government to try to do something good for your country? There's a fight for you. Yeah, something that you believe in. Pick something that will cost you your life. That's a way to get out of your comfort zone. Pick a good fight. Pick something that is going to change the world. That's a good fight. You'll get out of your comfort zone real quick. Pick something that is not the everyday normal that's about you. Pick something that is about Christ's cause. And I tell you what, I guarantee you'll get out of your comfort zone very, very quickly. Choose, if you want to pick a fight, choose to not live according to the status quo, which in the Latin means, look at the mess we're in. I guarantee you, you'll get out of your comfort zone. And the gift of a good friend. You know, it really is interesting. How many know you couldn't pick your family, but you can pick your friends? Yeah. If you pick your friends that are risk takers, people that have lost everything for the cause of Christ, or people that are just following their God-given dream, guess what? When you pick some risk-taking friends, guess what? Real quickly, you're going to find out that you've gotten out of your comfort zone. I don't know what it was, but how many know that when you got to be careful of the friends you pick? Because they'll get you into stuff and you'll be like, what in the world am I doing? Why am I hanging off this cliff right now? By this little piece of rope. Why am I going down this white water? Why? Because you picked some friends that took you there. That's why. And, you know, it's amazing the friends that we pick and what we get ourselves into, by the people we hang out with is usually what we end up doing. Because they're like, no, you can do this. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be fun. I remember 5 o'clock in the morning in 2011, looking at the sunrise in Tucson, and I'm on lap number 5 because I picked out some friends and said, let's go do a 24-hour mountain bike race. I'm like, what in the world am I doing? Where did these friends take me? They got me here somehow. You can pick your friends, people that are risk takers, and people that want to live the adventurous life. And guess what? Real quickly, you're going to find out that you're out of your comfort zone. How about the gift of a good book? At the end of this message, I want to encourage you to pick out a dangerous book. Something that is so dangerous, something that it takes you to the utmost extreme. You know, books are about thoughts and ideas. It's not just about poetry and feeling good. Some of the books that you read, if you read a dangerous book, I'm talking about a dangerous book. Maybe you don't have any friends that are risk takers, but you can buy some really good friends on Amazon that are risk takers, authors of books, and tap into their ideas. And I'll tell you what, it will change your life. Change your life. How many of you are excited about this sermon today? Come on, anybody? It's time to pick a good fight. It's time to pick some amazing friends, risk takers. It's time to get into a dangerous book. Let's look into it today. All right. The gift of a good fight. 2 Timothy 4:7 says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now, most of you might not know this. Some of you might know this. But this is the end of Paul's life. This is the end of it. And he set himself on a race that took him to a prison that eventually is going to take his life. And he said, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 12. This is the first book of 1 Timothy. He says, hey, Timothy, guess what? You're going to need to fight the good fight of faith. How many know we can fight? Anybody ever been in a fight? How many know you can fight a good fight where you win? I mean, there's some good things you can fight for. How many think it's important that we fight for our country in prayer? In all the things that we do, being good citizens? That's a good fight. So we can fight, or we can fight a good fight, but here's the third layer of fighting. You can fight the good fight of, what is it? Fill in the blank? Faith. That's a great faith fight. And Paul gave his life to fight for the faith. You know, Brenda, every year, she works with little graders. And she's been given the gift again of teaching kindergarten. Thanks, little graders. Little graders. She's been given the gift of teaching little graders again. And what she does things like green eggs and ham for the kids, and then she'll do other things. It's just, to me, she'll dig for dinosaur bones in a sandbox, you know, chicken bones and stuff like that. Talk about dinosaurs and God's creation, all that kind of stuff. But the one thing that I really love every year is when she gets out, she says, Steve, go to the garage and get the incubator. And so I go to the garage and I'll pull out the incubator, and then she'll order from Iowa, some farm, she'll order these chicken eggs, these chick eggs, and they get shipped across the country in a FedEx truck. Can you imagine this life, this world we live in right now? And so if any of you local farmers have any local eggs, let us know, will you? So she will then talk to the kids about, and begin to teach the little graders about how the chicken is hatched and life all that little thing, then hold it up to the light, see the little chickie inside, and then she will then go through the process. It's this awesome thing, and then all of a sudden, the kids would anticipate. I mean, now these little graders want to come to school, right? Because they're waiting for the next day. Maybe that little crack in the egg is going to happen, and they're in the incubator, and then all of a sudden the children are hovered around the incubator, and you'll see a little peck come through that that egg will begin to crack. And inevitably, every time those little children with their minds, I don't know, they're gifted scientists, right? Come on, scientists, little scientists in the making. They're like, Mrs. Lummer, let's help the little chickie out. It's just struggling so badly. Look at the little baby, can't get out. And it's just like, and then a wing will pop through, and then a claw will pop. Let's just pick it up and help it out. She, no. You can't do that. Why? Why can't we help it out? Because it's in the struggle that little chickie gains its strength. I don't know about you, but I'm looking at people today, and you're looking at someone up here today, that we have had struggle in our life. Can we hear a good church amen right there? Amen. I mean, we have gone through some stuff. We have pressed through. We have broken out of some shells that have kept us inside. And when I'm going through something, when I'm in a really good fight, I'm saying, God, would you please send someone here today that would help me out of this mess? God looks at me and goes, Steve, it's in the struggle you gain your strength. It's in that struggle that you're trying to break out of something. And it takes faith, working your faith muscle. It takes prayer. It takes persistence. It takes, ready for this one, it takes a perspicacious spirit. Wow. I looked at that all week just for this Sunday. So you need a struggle to gain some strength. I know you came here today to hear that. It's like, oh, that's a faith message right there. But if you're going through a struggle right now and you're trying to break out of something, guess what? That is giving you strength. Maybe sometimes God doesn't give you someone to pull that eggshell away from you because He wants you to be stronger because of the struggle. Pick a good fight, folks. You want to get out of your comfort zone. Get yourself in a good fight. I read this a long time ago. That you need a loyal opposition. Every one of us in this room needs a loyal opposition. Someone that's going to be loyal to love us, but at the same time, it's not about going all the direction that I want to go. Sometimes that loyal opposition will make us stronger. You need an enemy. I said enemy. You need an enemy. I need an enemy. We need to know who our enemy is. And guess what? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 says, For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spirits, against principalities and darkness in heavenly places. Some have asked me this question. You've asked yourself, well, who is my enemy? Guess what? It is not other Christians that don't think like you. Come on, give it up right there. Amen. It's not other people that are of other religions that don't think. They're not your enemy. Not according to the Scripture. Your enemy is not bad people. Your enemy is not bad people. Your enemy is not your spouse. Can I hear a good amen right there? Come on. It's not your husband. It's not your wife. Your enemy isn't your kids. Your enemy isn't your teacher. Your enemy is not your boss. Your enemy is not Democrat. Your enemy is not Republican. Your enemy is not Green Party. That's not your enemy. It's Satan and demonic forces. And sometimes your own self. That's the enemy. You need an enemy, and you need to know who your enemy is. Pick a good fight. Let's get out of here to beat the enemy. For the weapons of our warfare, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Psalm 144:1. Listen to this one. This is a beautiful passage of Scripture. Psalm 144, verse 1 says it this way. Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for battle. Anybody in a battle today? To train your heart, your spirit for a battle. You know what it is? A spiritual battle for your family. It's a battle for your marriage. It's a battle for the good gifts that God put within you. I have kept the faith. I have run the race. I have fought the good fight. You need to remember your enemy. Don't forget your enemy. Don't forget who it is. John 8:44, the devil is a liar. He's the father of lies. I mean, Jesus talked about this stuff. So it's real. But remember this, in the battle, in this fight that you are in, the battle is the Lord's. 2 Chronicles 20:17, you will not have to fight this battle by yourself. 1 Samuel 17:47, the battle is the Lord's. Let's give it up for the Lord. He fights on our behalf. He trains our hands. You want to get out of your comfort zone? Pick a good fight. Yeah. Get out of the status quo. Do something that's valid. Do something that's of value. Do something that's noble. You know, fight for your family. You get up and go do your work every day. Guess what? You're doing something noble. When you belong a part of a, when you pray for a community of faith and you do good, guess what? You're picking a fight because the enemy doesn't want good to happen. Anytime you do something good, you're picking a fight. And guess what? There's going to be pushback. There's going to be opposition. Now, how many know that there is a gift of a good fight, right? And there is a gift of a good friend. I really, I want to hone in on this just a few minutes. Pick some risk takers as friends. Pick some visionaries as friends. You can pick your friends. Pick somebody that's not just, boring. Pick somebody that wants to push. Pick somebody that wants to go to the next level. Friends, the kind of people that are willing to follow Jesus. There's some risk takers right there. People that are willing to put their faith public. There's some risk takers right there. Yeah. How about when you choose some crazy friends? How many? We got some crazy friends around Discovery. Yeah. When you have some crazy friends for God, they're crazy about God, willing to chase their God-given dreams. Guess what? It's going to influence you. It's going to rub off on you. Guess what? You've just left your comfort zone when you find some people that are crazy about Jesus. Yeah, you've left your comfort zone. So Paul says it this way in 2 Timothy 4. It's right here. I think it's on the screen. 2 Timothy 4, yeah. He says, here's him in prison, and he says, Timothy, get here as fast as you can. Demas was chasing fads and went off to Thessalonica and left me here. Crescens is in Galatia, Providence. Titus went to Dalmatia. Luke is the only one here with me. Bring Mark, the book of Mark. That's him. Bring Mark with you. He'll be my right-hand man since I'm sending you to Tychicus and to Ephesus. Picking some good friends. Paul's problem started when he started hanging out with some people that were crazy about Jesus. That's why Paul's in prison, is because he started hanging out with some crazy folk. We're talking about Barnabas. We're talking about Luke. He started hanging around with these people. Remember, the people that he was persecuting in the first place. And Paul's real problem, he traces it back, is because he started hanging out with some crazies. I think that if there's anybody in this room that has some new friends coming up to you and saying, hey, I want to be your friend, you might want to give them a warning. You're like, are you sure you want to be my friend? You're like, yeah, I need a friend. Are you sure you need this kind of friend? Because this kind of friend could possibly destroy your world that you're living in right now. That's what happened to Paul. He started hanging around with Barnabas and Luke, and they're like, are you sure that you want to join this tribe? Are you sure that you want to hang out with this group? Why? Because we're fully devoted followers of Jesus Christ. That's going to mess up your life. Your comfort zone life. Come on, give it up right there. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that will mess up your life. I'm talking about people that you will mess up their life. Why? And I'm not talking about a negative connotation. I'm talking about you will mess them up because you're going to point them to Jesus. Everything that you're doing is saying, you know what? Follow him and follow me. Paul said it this way, follow me as I follow Christ. Get you in trouble with the authorities. It won't be politically correct. And the culture is going to be looking at you going, what in the world's wrong with you? Yeah. So, the gift of good friends. If you want to leave your comfort zone, pick some crazy friends that are crazy about Jesus? How many are crazy about Jesus in this place today? How many are crazy about Jesus? It's just love. Yeah. See, when you isolate yourself, you'll limit yourself. When you isolate yourself, here's what you want to know a real great way to go insane. Ready? Go to work 7 days a week and be by yourself. You're nuts. Go to work 7 days a week and be by yourself. You will find, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. And when you isolate yourself, guess what? You're going to limit yourself, because friends will push you to another level. Friends will have an interest. Friends will like you even though they know you and they keep on liking you.
Amen.
Those are some crazy friends. Friends will, what does it say? They'll walk in when everybody else walks out. They will confront you. They will be honest with you. They will tell you the truth about you. So life is meant for good friends and great adventure. Let's give it up for right there. Good friends and great adventure. Elizabeth Lindsay writes, "We live in a society bloated with data, yet starved for wisdom. We're connected 24/7, yet anxiety, fear, and depression and loneliness is at all-time high. We must have a course correction in relationships." Mother Teresa says it this way. She says, "Loneliness is the most terriblest and terrible of all poverty." Loneliness. The gift of a good fight. The gift of a good struggle. The gift of some good friends. And the gift of a warm coat and a really dangerous book. He goes like this. He says in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 13, he says, "Timothy, bring the winter coat that I left in Troas with Carpus. Also the books, the parchments, and notebooks." Paul's sitting in prison. Winter's coming. And guess what? He knew that whenever you're arrested, what do they do? What did they do with Jesus' garments? What did they do? They took them, they sold them, they cast lots for them. So here's what. If you're in that case, they're going to go, "Give me your sandals, give me your clothes, give me everything." And they're going to strip you of everything on you, and they're going to sell it. Paul, this is what happened to him. He was arrested, and instead of letting the Roman soldiers take his coat, his books, and his parchments, he handed them to a guy named Carpus. He says, "Hold these for me, because I'm going to go into prison for 2 years. Hold them for me." And he goes, "Bring the coat, bring the books, and especially the parchments." I want to talk to you real quickly about the coat, the books, and the parchments. There's nothing better than a fire, a warm blanket on a winter's day, and a really good book. How many know that that's a cozy place right there? Yeah. But I got to tell you, man, if you pick out some books that are dangerous to your comfort zone, it's not going to be comfortable anymore. In fact, you might end up taking that coat of comfort, that comfort zone coat, and giving it away. That coat represents our comfort zones. And there are some books that, how many are readers in this room? I mean, you actually love reading. Let me see, about 50%. Others are not. That's not your thing. So now we have a thing called iTunes.
Amen.
You can listen to books on, come on, how many are iTunes freaks? Come on. Your books on tape, books on CD, or whatever. And so he says, bring the coat, the books, and the parchments. The coat is just something that he keeps, because winter's coming in that prison. He needs something to stay warm. He's going to be practical about it. Just give me something, give me my old coat. I'm going to have a favorite coat. I'm going to know winter's coming, fall's coming. You can't wait to get that coat out, right? And that's just Paul. He's like, give me that comfort zone coat. But maybe he goes on to say, bring the books. In the world, did they have Zondervan Publishers back there? No, they didn't. You know what they had? They had Jewish history. They had books about the wars of the Jews. They had Paul was a reader. He was an intelligent man. He's like, will you bring me my bundle of books so that I can go back to those books and revisit the ideas that got me here in the first place? Guys, I've read some dangerous books. I have read some authors that I would say, I've got them in my library today, highlighted, underlined, and some of the themes that are happening in this place today, in this tribe today, were birthed as seeds and ideas from those authors in those books. Those authors in those books told me to risk. Those authors in those books said, do it differently than you've ever done it before. Those authors in those books said, if it's not broke, break it. Do it differently than the status quo. I got to tell you, I'll be honest, that I wish I would have read some of those books. Some of those books were even in the Bible, where we see people of faith, people that are just risk takers, people that gave all for Jesus. People that said, I will go where you want me to go. I will be what you want me to be. And they left all their ships, all of their business. They left family and friends to follow. You better be careful when you start reading those authors. I'm telling you, I'm warning you. There are some prayers that you need to be careful you don't pray. Ready? It's found in the Psalms. Oh, search me, O God, and know my ways. Dig deep within it. You pray, search me, God. Guess what? That's a dangerous prayer. Because when God begins to search you, the spotlight in your spirit, guess what? He's gonna point out something. He's gonna illuminate some stuff. And it says, oh, change me and make me like you want. Don't pray that dangerous prayer unless you mean it. Change me. Here's a dangerous prayer. Don't pray for patience.
You have to wait to
Because
get it.
God will give you people in your life that will demand patience in your life. And you better be careful you start praying for faith. Come on. God will put you in positions where you will need faith. You know, we all want a miracle. We just don't want to be in a spot that necessitates one. You want to pray for miracles? God might put you in a place where you need a miracle. You want to be a miracle-working Christian? A person that experiences miracles? God will put you in places where it demands miracles. It demands faith. So some of these books, man, I'll tell you, books birth ideas. And the words are seeds that grow if watered and nurtured. Many of the books I've read have been a catalyst to get me out of my comfort zone. Here he is at the end of his life in prison for the very thing he fought against, Jesus. And what does he ask for? He asked for the books that got him there. So he can be reminded of why he said yes. Parchments? What are parchments? Parchments basically came from China. These were just out of parchment, out of papyrus reeds. And for the most part, I believe, this isn't in the scripture, but I believe that Paul's parchments were like his journal. Some of the scribbling. I don't know if you journal or not, but the parchments, for the most part, were just scribblings. Probably, how many people would love to see the doodle art of Paul the Apostle? Wouldn't that be awesome? It's like the doodle stuff, prison bars, joke about the guard that he's chained to, right? Oh, by the way, Paul wasn't chained to the Roman guard. The Roman guard was chained to Paul. There's a perspective. The parchments were, for the most part, just empty sheets that he could ask for a pen from his Roman owners. And he began to write some thoughts, some inspiration down from the Holy Spirit. By the way, I think that parchments that Paul wrote, 2/3 of the New Testament were written on the parchments of Paul. Please bring the coat. It's freezing in this prison. I need a little comfort. I left my comfort zone years ago. Please bring the books that will remind me of why I'm here in the first place. The minds, the ideas, the thoughts of other men that thought further and beyond my own life. Please bring the parchments. Because I got some more ideas to write down. How many in this room are about, like a fourth of the way through the book you're writing called your life? Yeah? If you're in your 20s, you're about the fourth of the way of the book you're writing your life. The rest are empty pages. How many are about halfway through? Huh? Yeah? I want to join the 20-somethings, but I can't. Right? That's why I love having young people in Discovery, because it's about visions, about future. Maybe you're 50% through, and the rest are blank pages. Bring the parchments. Man, don't waste the parchments of your life that are empty. Bring the books. Bring the cloak. Tell you what, you want to get out of your comfort zone? Discovery Church. Pick a good fight. Pick a good fight of faith. And you're going to be launched out of your comfort zone. I'll tell you what, if you want to get out of your comfort zone, pick some friends that will take you further than you ever could by yourself. Take some friends that will challenge you in your faith. Pick some friends that will challenge you in your adventure. Pick some friends that will take you further. They're like, man, let's get up at 5 o'clock in the morning on Monday and go hike Thumb Butte. That'll challenge you. Just getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, that's a challenge. I'm on right there. Pick some friends that will have enough interest in God's creation to get people out in creation. You know, most people that go to the Grand Canyon, Maddie, most people who go to the Grand Canyon, you know what the average stay is? Come on, tell me. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. They're called rim standers. Come on. They're rim standers. Come on. There's no adventure in 7 minutes. They drive 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Phoenix, and they got to go, they say, go look at the big hole in the ground. They go stand there. Guess what? They get an ice cream cone at the lodge. They go stand there for 7 minutes. That's the average stay at the Grand Canyon. How many want to get down into it? Come on. Choose some friends that will get you there. You choose friends like, I'm scared. No, we don't want to go. We don't want to do anything dangerous. I'll get my pants dirty. I don't have the right shoes. No, I'll get wet. Guess what? Status quo. Choose some friends. Choose some friends. Choose some friends that will get you down in it. I'm talking about faith. I'm talking about hope. I'm talking about Jesus. Choose some friends that know Jesus a little bit more than you do. Am I preaching? Yes, I am. I'm saying choose some friends that will take you further than you've ever been before. You become isolated. You become limited. Oh, man. I love this sermon. I might just keep on preaching. I just...
Have some more water.
Oh, yeah. Some of you going, no, don't drink the water. Guys, life is about inspiration. It's about creativity. It's about Jesus. Jesus, the one who created the universe. All things were created by Him and for Him. You want to be creative? You want to be someone that's thrilled with life? Get to know Him. And it will not, I guarantee you, it won't be anything you've ever seen before in your life. Because every day is a new creation in Him. His mercies are new every morning. Every morning.